Cities. They pulse with life, energy, and the constant hum of humanity. But what happens when that lifeblood drains away, leaving behind only a shell? This is city name, or at least it used to be. Now it's known by another name, a name whispered in fear and disbelief. They call it Zombie City. What happened here? What transformed this once bustling metropolis into a ghost town, haunted by shadows of its former self? The answer, it turns out, is far more complex and far more human than the legends would have you believe. This isn't a story about the undead rising from their graves. This is a story about a different kind of epidemic, an epidemic of despair fueled by poverty, addiction, and a system that has failed its most vulnerable citizens. Join us as we journey into the heart of Zombie City. We'll meet the people trapped in its grip, uncover the truth behind the terrifying headlines, and explore whether any hope remains in this forgotten corner of the world. City name. A city forged in the fires of industry, a testament to human ambition. Once, these streets thrummed with the energy of progress. A century ago, city name was a beacon of opportunity, drawing dreamers and doers from far and wide. Immigrants flocked here, seeking a better life, laying the very foundations of this city with their sweat and toil. The city prospered. Factories churned out goods, businesses boomed, and a sense of shared prosperity filled the air. But time, like a relentless tide, can erode even the sturdiest foundations. Today, the city bears the scars of its tumultuous past. The factories that once fueled its growth stand silent, their skeletal frames rusting under a weary sky. The jobs they provided, the lives they sustained, have vanished. The exodus began slowly at first, a trickle of families leaving in search of work elsewhere. But as the economic foundations crumbled, the trickle became a flood, leaving behind those who couldn't escape the city's gravitational pull. With each departing family, each shuttered business, a little more of city name's spirit seemed to seep away, and in its place, something else began to take root, something darker, more desperate. The streets, once bustling with the laughter of children, are now eerily quiet. The playgrounds stand empty, their swings swaying rhythmically in the wind, a haunting reminder of what once was. The city's heart, once a vibrant tapestry of commerce and community, has become a ghost town. Shops stand vacant, their windows plastered with faded "for lease" signs, a silent plea for a revival that never seems to come. Those who remain are trapped in a cycle of poverty and despair. Stripped of opportunity, they cling to the fringes of a society that has largely forgotten them. Yet, even amidst the decay, remnants of city name's proud past still linger. Ghosts of a time when people believed in the promise of a brighter future. We spoke to those who remember city name in its heyday. Their stories, etched in the lines on their faces and the tremor in their voices, paint a poignant picture of a bygone era. They speak of a time when neighbors looked out for each other, when the air thrummed with the symphony of industry, and when the future seemed limitless. As darkness falls over city name, a palpable tension settles in the air. The city seems to hold its breath, bracing itself for another long night. The shadows seem to deepen, stretching out like grasping claws. And in the darkened doorways and abandoned buildings, figures stir, their movements furtive and unsettling. This is the time when the whispers begin. Whispers of strange occurrences, of people acting strangely, of a darkness that seems to seep into the very soul of the city. These are the zombies of city name, but their vacant eyes and unsteady gaits aren't the result of some supernatural curse. They are the victims of a very real, very human tragedy. Many are struggling with addiction, their lives consumed by the relentless pursuit of their next fix. They've lost their homes, their families, their dignity, and often their hope. Others bear the invisible scars of mental illness, their minds trapped in a labyrinth of their own making. They wander the streets, lost and alone, shunned by a society that doesn't understand their plight. Many of the people we met in City Name found themselves trapped in a vicious cycle of poverty, addiction, and homelessness. It's a cycle that's incredibly difficult to break, especially when the support systems that should be in place have crumbled around them. They scavenge for scraps, sleep in doorways, and rely on the kindness of strangers or the indifference of a society that has grown accustomed to their presence. They are invisible to many, but their stories are a stark reminder of the human cost of societal neglect. We wanted to understand how City Name reached this point. What systemic failures, what policy decisions, what societal blind spots led to this crisis? As day surrenders to night, a different side of City Name emerges. The shadows deepen, and the streets take on a menacing air. This is when the zombie label seems most apt, not because of any supernatural force, but because of the despair that clings to these streets like a shroud. Drug deals take place in broad daylight, prostitution is rampant, and the air is thick with a sense of lawlessness and desperation. The police, stretched thin and overwhelmed, seem powerless to stem the tide. But even in the darkest corners of City Name, we found glimmers of humanity, acts of kindness, moments of shared struggle, and a fierce determination to survive against all odds. This is Michael. He's been living on the streets of City Name for the past 5 years, ever since he lost his job and his family. He suffers from schizophrenia, and without access to proper medication or support, his grip on reality has become increasingly tenuous. Michael's story, while unique in its details, is tragically common in Zombie City. Mental health services are severely underfunded and overwhelmed. The stigma surrounding mental illness prevents many from seeking help, leaving them to navigate the streets alone and vulnerable. But even in the face of such adversity, there are those who refuse to give up on people like Michael. Outreach workers, volunteers, and community organizations are working tirelessly to provide food, shelter, and a listening ear to those who have been cast aside. This is Sarah. She's a volunteer with a local nonprofit organization that provides essential services to City Name's homeless population. She's been coming here every week for the past 3 years, driven by a deep sense of compassion and a belief that everyone deserves a helping hand. Sarah is just one of countless individuals and organizations working tirelessly to bring light to the darkness of Zombie City. They are the unsung heroes, the beacons of hope in a city that often feels forgotten. Their efforts, while often met with bureaucratic hurdles and a lack of resources, are a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit. They remind us that even in the face of seemingly insurmountable challenges, there is always hope, always compassion, always the possibility of change.
The zombie crisis in City Name isn't confined to the streets. Its tendrils reach deep into the homes and families of its citizens, leaving a trail of heartbreak and shattered dreams in their wake. This is Mary. The woman in the photograph is her daughter, Jessica. Jessica, like so many others, fell victim to the city's opioid epidemic. She started experimenting with painkillers after a workplace injury, and the descent into addiction was swift and brutal. Mary lost her job, her home, and eventually, her daughter. She's now raising her 2 grandchildren on her meager pension, struggling to provide them with a sense of normalcy in a city that's anything but normal. The zombie crisis has cast a long shadow over City Name, eroding the very fabric of its community. Fear and suspicion have replaced neighborly trust, and people are retreating into their homes, afraid of what they might encounter on the streets. Neighborhood watch groups have sprung up, but they often exacerbate the problem, creating a climate of vigilantism and further marginalizing those who are already struggling. The lines between victim and perpetrator, between those who need help and those who are perceived as a threat, have become blurred. Yet, even amidst the fear and division, there are glimmers of hope. Community leaders, faith-based organizations, and compassionate individuals are working tirelessly to bridge the divide. to remind people that they are not alone in this struggle. One of the most insidious aspects of the zombie crisis is the stigma that surrounds it. Addiction and mental illness are often seen as personal failings, sources of shame rather than illnesses that require compassion and support. Mark's story is not unique. Countless people in city names suffer in silence, afraid to seek help for fear of judgment or rejection. This silence is deadly, preventing people from accessing the treatment and support they so desperately need. Breaking down the stigma surrounding addiction and mental illness is crucial to addressing the zombie crisis. It's time to start talking openly and honestly about these issues, to offer support instead of judgment, and to create a culture of compassion where people feel safe seeking help.
Perhaps the most heartbreaking victims of the zombie crisis are the children growing up in its shadow. They are the innocent bystanders, caught in a crossfire of poverty, addiction, and despair. Many of these children have witnessed their parents battling addiction, their neighborhoods ravaged by violence and neglect. They've grown up too fast, their innocence stolen by the harsh realities of life in Zombie City. But even amidst the darkness, there are glimmers of hope. Dedicated teachers, social workers, and community programs are working tirelessly to provide these children with a safe haven, a chance to learn, to play, and to simply be children again. The zombie crisis has created a generation adrift, young people growing up without hope or opportunity. They've seen firsthand the devastating effects of addiction and poverty, and many have lost faith in the systems that are supposed to protect them. They are vulnerable to the same traps that ensnared their parents, at risk of falling into the same cycles of addiction and despair. It's imperative that we reach these young people, that we provide them with the resources and support they need to break free from the cycle. We need to invest in education, job training, and mental health services. We need to create opportunities for these young people to believe in a better future, to see a path out of the darkness. Their futures and the future of City Name depend on it. The zombie crisis in City Name presents a complex challenge, one that has overwhelmed the city's resources and tested the limits of its social fabric. City officials face mounting pressure to address the issue, to find solutions that can stem the tide of despair and restore a sense of order. Proposed solutions range from increased policing and stricter drug enforcement to expanded social services and addiction treatment programs. But finding the right balance, the approach that can effectively address the root causes of the crisis, has proven elusive. The question remains, can City Name break free from the grip of this crisis? Can it find a way to heal its wounds, to restore hope to its streets, and to reclaim its future? Dr. Emily Carter has dedicated her career to studying the complexities of urban poverty and addiction. She argues that the zombie crisis in City Name is not an isolated incident, but rather a symptom of broader societal issues.
We can't simply arrest our way out of this problem. We can't just keep putting band-aids on a gaping wound. We need to address the root causes: poverty, lack of opportunity, systemic racism, and a healthcare system that fails to adequately address mental health and addiction.
Dr. Carter advocates for a multi-pronged approach that includes investing in affordable housing, job training programs, early childhood education, and accessible mental health and addiction treatment centers. While city officials grapple with long-term solutions on the ground, individuals and community organizations are working tirelessly to provide immediate assistance to those in need.
These are people's sons and daughters, mothers and fathers. They deserve our compassion, not our judgment. We're here to meet them where they're at, to offer them a hand up, not a handout.
These organizations are the frontline soldiers in the fight against the zombie crisis. They provide a vital lifeline to those who have fallen through the cracks, offering not only basic necessities but also a sense of hope and human connection. Amidst the despair, seeds of hope are being planted. Community-led initiatives are emerging, offering innovative approaches to tackling the zombie crisis and rebuilding a sense of community.
This garden is more than just a place to grow food. It's a place where people can come together, where they can find purpose and healing, where they can rediscover their sense of belonging.
These grassroots efforts, while small in scale, are making a tangible difference in the lives of City Name's residents. They are proof that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit can find a way to flourish. Section 5, A Long Road to Recovery.
The zombie crisis in City Name is a stark reminder of the fragility of our social fabric and the devastating consequences of neglect. But it is also a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the power of compassion to heal even the deepest wounds. The road to recovery will be long and arduous, but the journey has begun. With sustained effort, compassion, and a commitment to addressing the root causes of this crisis, City Name can rise from the ashes and reclaim its future.
Section 1, The City That Refuses to Die.
We came to City Name expecting to find a city broken, defeated, resigned to its fate. What we discovered instead was a city clinging fiercely to life, its spirit unbroken, its people determined to rise above the challenges that threaten to consume them. The zombie label, while a stark reflection of the city's struggles, fails to capture the resilience of its people, the unwavering belief that a brighter future is possible. The challenges remain, the scars run deep, but there's a palpable shift in the air, a sense that City Name is no longer content to be defined by its struggles. It's a city determined to write its own narrative, to reclaim its identity, to emerge from the darkness stronger than ever before.
Section 2, Echoes of Resilience.
Every day, individuals like Sarah demonstrate extraordinary acts of compassion, reminding us that even in the face of immense hardship, humanity endures. Sarah, a local resident, dedicates her time to walking through the homeless encampments, offering not just food, but a sense of hope and connection. Her actions are a testament to the power of empathy and the impact one person can have on many lives. They are beacons of hope, shining a light into the darkest corners of the city, offering a helping hand to those who have stumbled, a reminder that no one is beyond redemption. These volunteers work tirelessly, often behind the scenes, to ensure that those who have lost their way can find a path back to stability and self-worth. Their efforts are not just about providing immediate relief, but about fostering long-term change and resilience within the community. These individuals are not simply providing aid. They are rebuilding lives, piece by piece, restoring dignity to those who have been marginalized and forgotten. By rebuilding shelters, painting community centers, and organizing clothing drives, they are creating safe spaces and opportunities for growth. Their work is a mosaic of small, yet significant contributions that collectively make a profound difference. They are the embodiment of hope in action, proof that even small acts of kindness can have a profound ripple effect. A simple handshake, a warm hug, or the act of planting a tree can symbolize new beginnings and the promise of a better future. These gestures, though seemingly small, resonate deeply within the community, inspiring others to join in and contribute to the collective effort. The fight to reclaim City Name is not a solitary one. It is a shared journey, a collective endeavor that brings together people from all walks of life. Each person, regardless of their background, has a role to play in this mission of renewal and hope. It's a collective effort, fueled by the unwavering belief that everyone deserves a chance, that every life has value, and that together we can create a more just and compassionate society for all. This unity is the cornerstone of our strength, a testament to the power of community and the enduring spirit of resilience that defines City Name. Through our combined efforts, we can build a future where compassion and justice prevail, ensuring that no one is left behind.
Section 3. The power of human connection.
The zombie crisis has exposed deep-seated systemic issues that have plagued City Name for decades. These issues, long ignored or inadequately addressed, have now come to the forefront, demanding immediate attention and action. The crumbling infrastructure, the abandoned buildings, and the visible signs of neglect are not just physical manifestations, but symbols of deeper social and economic problems. But it has also ignited a spark, a collective realization that the status quo is no longer acceptable. People from all walks of life are coming together, united by a common goal to transform their city. This crisis has become a catalyst for change, pushing residents to take action and make their voices heard. There's a growing movement demanding change, advocating for policies that address the root causes of poverty, addiction, and despair. Community leaders are stepping up, organizing rallies, and speaking out against the injustices that have been allowed to persist for too long. They are calling for comprehensive solutions that go beyond temporary fixes, aiming to create lasting, meaningful change. This newfound sense of urgency, this collective desire to create a better future for City Name, is perhaps the most powerful antidote to the despair that has gripped the city for so long. The energy and determination of the community are palpable as people come together to share ideas, resources, and support. It's a movement fueled by hope and driven by the belief that a better future is possible. It's a testament to the power of human connection, the belief that together we can overcome even the most daunting challenges. The bonds being formed, the relationships being strengthened, and the sense of solidarity growing within the community are all crucial elements in this fight for a better tomorrow. The road ahead will be long, the battles hard-fought, but the spirit of City Name is unyielding. The determination and resilience of its residents are unwavering as they continue to push forward, undeterred by the obstacles in their path. They know that the journey will be challenging, but they are ready to face it head-on, together. It's a city awakening to its own potential, a city where hope is rekindled in the shared struggle, a city where the power of human connection is forging a path towards a brighter tomorrow. The efforts being made today are laying the foundation for a future where every resident can thrive, where the community is stronger, more resilient, and more united than ever before. This is the power of human connection in action, transforming a city and its people, one step at a time.
Section 4. A call to action. Section 5. A testament to the human spirit.
As we leave City Name, we carry with us a profound sense of hope. This hope is not just a fleeting emotion, but a deep-seated belief in the potential for change and renewal. It is a hope that has been nurtured by the countless stories of courage and resilience we have encountered. Hope born not out of naive optimism, but out of witnessing firsthand the indomitable spirit of the human heart. We have seen people from all walks of life come together, united by a common purpose, to rebuild and rejuvenate their community. This spirit of unity and determination is what fuels our hope. Hope ignited by the countless acts of compassion, large and small, that are slowly but surely weaving a new narrative for this city. From volunteers distributing food to those in need, to neighbors coming together to clean up their streets, every act of kindness adds a new thread to the tapestry of hope. The zombie label may have captured the world's attention, but it's the stories of resilience, compassion, and hope that will ultimately define City Name's legacy. These stories are the true testament to the human spirit, showcasing the power of community and the strength of the human heart. This is a city that has stared into the abyss and emerged stronger, a city determined to reclaim its narrative, a city that embodies the enduring power of the human spirit to overcome even the darkest of times. The construction cranes dotting the skyline are not just symbols of rebuilding, but of a community rising from the ashes. Hope. It's the thread that connects us all, the beacon that guides us through the darkness, the unwavering belief that even in the ruins, something beautiful can bloom. It is the light that shines in the hearts of the people of City Name, a light that will continue to burn brightly as they forge a new path forward. As we reflect on our journey through City Name, we are reminded that hope is not just a passive feeling, but an active force. It is the driving force behind every effort to rebuild, every act of kindness, and every step towards a brighter future. It is a testament to the human spirit, a spirit that refuses to be broken, and a spirit that will continue to inspire us all.
Section 6, Finding Hope in the Ruins. Hope lies not in the absence of darkness, but in our willingness to bring the light. Dalai Lama.